Yes, hi, this is Ed Moten from ERM Performance Tuning, and I want to welcome you to a continuing series on tutorials on how to interface to the new version 3.0 from HP Tuners. Today's tutorial is going to be a quick look at how we set up a graph for MAF. There's been some questions on the forum, so we're going to try to go through it pretty quick and hopefully make it simple for you. So the prerequisites for obviously generating a MAF error is going to be to make sure that you're logging the mass airflow sensor as well as the mass airflow hertz. All right, so you'll require both of those PIDs. You'll require some type of either error collection scheme, whether it be wideband, which in this particular case you can see we're looking at the LM1. You can also do errors through long-term trims and things of that nature, so you would just add those to this and create those. Once you've got them set up into here, then obviously the chart setup is kind of the same thing, right? You're going to want to display your MAF. You're going to want to display your MAF hertz. You will, again, this is an LM1 example. There it would be a grouping, if you will, that was going to take care of your AFR commanded, wideband AFR, and the AFR error. Very simply, those get added in, and I'll tell you the way that I kind of do it is I set up some canned sections. So let's just say we wanted to add the long-term trims. If you added them into the channels, then we could just simply go to charts layout. We can go to open layouts, and I have them set up in various different groups. So if I go to my groups, which is my long-term, short-term trims groups, open that up, you can see that I have several charts to pick from, and I would pick from the sensor chart. So I pick from the sensor chart, and then up pops my long-term, short-term, long-term trim. So I would then be able to see those operating as well. One of the things you might want to add to this to make it even nicer, because there is a great um, feature that HP has given us, is we can add in another series, which is essentially an error series, which we can go to the math properties, and we will come down to fuel trims. There's a combined long-term and short-term trim error collection, which is going to take all four of these, add them together and average them, and give you an overall error value that you can obviously use as well. And so you could do that if you wanted to. But okay, so for this example, we're going to be using the wideband. So then comes time for the graph. Okay, so now we need to set up the graph. So we need to open graphs layout. Now this one's already been pre-set up, but it's simply what you would do is you would go find the parameters. You'd go find your error in either the math, or if you had to generate your own type, this is where you would go and find it in user defined, but in this particular case we're using one of the pre-configured, so we would just type AFR error and that would provide us with that specific math. It is a percentage. I normally like to use 2 decimal places for that. This is dependent on how many cells you'd like hit to give you a good sampling of data. So the question now comes in, well, what happens, how do we fill in this box? Now, normally it's blank, right? So what we would do is we would come into the parameters, we would hit parameters, and similar to what you would do before, first thing we would want to do is we would want to basically hit the gear with the little thing, which is then going to limit what we see as far as only what we've got set up on our channel. So a lot of the additional stuff that just kind of complicates or clutters the screen is going to go away. So we're going to want to come down here, and we're going to want to find our MAF hertz, right? And the best way to do that is to come up here, which is a great new feature as well, mass airflow, and we come down to, we want to use sensors when we can, so we come down and we find the mass airflow sensor, and we basically click on that. And then that would establish this. Now there wouldn't be any numbers in here, which is apparently where we're having some issues. But that comes from actually your editor. So in this particular case, what you would do is you would open your file, right? You would go to the air MAF calibration, and very simply come up into the top piece. This is now your Hertz access points or breakpoints, correct? So what you would do is you would click in there, you'd come down, it's a column access, you would say copy labels, come back to the scanner. In this particular case it's populated, but if you assumed that there was nothing there, we would then just right click and paste. And now all of the same breakpoints that your editor has are into your scanner, and you're now done. So you now have a graph which is going to plot your AFR error, right, against your Hertz breakpoints from your file. So that's basically how you do it. Hope this helped, and if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to include them in the forum. And thank you so much for listening, and have yourself a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.